Hi, my name is Santosh Vasan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'd like to talk about this camera. This is my Nikon D3X. I'd like to talk about the things I like with this camera, some of the things I don't like as much, and share images that I've taken until now. Let's get into it. The Nikon D3X was released in 2008. It is a full-frame DSLR with a 24.5 megapixel CMOS sensor. It was designed for professionals and cost a whopping $8,000 on release. Now let's talk about some of the things I like about this camera. I love the colors coming out of the Nikon D3X. The images look natural, rich, and vibrant. I don't need to do much editing in post. The colors coming out of the camera are really good. The 25 megapixel sensor and 14-bit RAW files produce images with great detail. I can crop and zoom in on the images and not worry about pixelation. This is a macro shot of a dragonfly. The compound eyes and the fine hairs stand out in the image. In this single exposure image of the Milky Way, I was able to capture details in the core and recover details on the house. The 14-bit RAW files allow me to recover details in photos that have been underexposed or overexposed. In this image of the Viper, you can see how much detail I am able to pull out of the shadows. Normally, an image like this would not be salvageable. Thanks to the RAW files and the incredible detail recovery, I'm able to save many photos that otherwise I would have thrown away. Check out the before and after. Most of my experience comes from using cameras with electronic viewfinders. The optical viewfinder shows the real image, but without live view, I found myself overexposing or underexposing the images. I had to learn to use the exposure meter. When I do get it right, the images are stunning. There's something satisfying when you hear the shutter sound and the mirror slapping. The tactile feedback in the shutter button is also pleasant. There isn't much to dislike about this camera. And even when I say the word dislike, I feel it's a bit harsh. Most of these things are minor inconveniences. I'm not used to using a DSLR, so a lot of the problems come down to user error. Well, the camera has a few limitations too. So let's talk about that. The size and weight are a bonus in how good the camera feels in the hand. However, after using the camera for a while, I find my arm and shoulder getting tired. I don't even have a large lens mounted on the camera. This is a side-by-side comparison of my Nikon D3X and my Lumix G85. You can see how much bigger the camera is. The low light performance of this camera isn't great compared to the newer cameras. The standard ISO range of 100 to 1600, I find that high ISO images carry a lot of noise. So this makes it difficult for shooting at night without flash. The Nikon D3X was designed for studio work. With a maximum burst rate of 5 frames per second, it isn't the best camera to take when trying to shoot fast action. This is the Masabatan Api or fire war ritual held before Nyepi in Bali. The participants take flaming coconuts and fling them at each other. I struggled to get very good shots because the Nikon D3X just couldn't keep up with the action. Enough talking about the camera. Let's have a look at some of the images that I've taken with my Nikon D3X. I hope you enjoyed coming on this journey with me as I explored using the Nikon D3X. I really enjoy this camera and I hope to be using it a lot more. If you've stayed until the end, thank you so much. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.